Another thing you can do in Photoshop is to blur. And here in this image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blur the background to add more emphasis to the art car. The blur tool is located on the toolbar, and it looks like a water drop. And on the options bar, you see the size of the blur tool. We can make it smaller or larger of a brush size, and we can also make the hardness very hard or very soft. For the blur tool, it's best to have a very soft brush to make the effect more subtle. I'm going to get a very large brush. The large brush is good because it will blend more. And what we do is we just paint our image, and whatever we paint will become blurry. Here, in the options bar, you also have the strength. Now 50% is actually quite a lot. For most things, you would probably want something more like 10%. But just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to leave it fairly high. So I'm just going to paint, and we actually want to just wiggle the mouse around a little bit as we go. We have to be very careful not to let the blur tool touch the edge of the car. So as I paint, you can see the edge of the blur tool. We do have to be a little careful because the blurring doesn't actually stop at the edge of the brush, but continues a little bit past. So here, what I want to do is let's get a smaller brush, and that will let us get a little bit closer to the car and blur those parts that we missed. Especially right here where you can see the people behind the car, you want to make sure they match their friends. Now, let's go back to the original and you can see the difference. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down the File menu to Revert. Revert will go to the very last version saved, so you will lose any changes since you've saved last. So here is the original, and if you go Edit and Undo Revert, you'll see the new one.